Hello, this is Angelia. With today's wisdom. Today's wisdom comes from Daily Muslim Wisdom. God kindles the fire of love in the hearts of the chosen, so that their carnal selves are consumed. Once ignited, the fire of longing never dies. That is the flame about which the prophet said, "When God wills the good of his servant, he kindles a light of faith in his heart." When they asked him what were the signs of that fire, he replied, "Deviation from the abode of vanity, progression toward the eternal." And that's by Abu Sa'id from Rabi'a the Mystic. And that's true. God will set the fire of love in the heart of whoever he chooses, and I personally choose to try and love people and to be nice to people, even when they're not being so lovable or nice to me, because I feel like that's what Jesus would do. So your carnal self can be consumed. And that's your fleshly self, your worldly self. It's just not about, carnal knowledge. Your physical self. Because the goal is to become less physically minded and more spiritually minded. Once ignited, the fire of longing never dies. Most people, and of course Jesus told the story about the sower and the seed, how some fell by the wayside or got choked up with thorns or whatever, but the seed that fell on good ground sprang up and multiplied. That is the flame about which the prophet said, "When God wills the good of his servant," because sometimes God will step in on people. He's like, yeah, this is not going well, and people around them or them themselves are not making great choices for this person. I want this person to do this, so now I'm going to step in. He kindles a light of faith in his heart, and that is the first step. That is the first step, that you have a little faith. I mean, that's how we get saved, is we have faith in Jesus to be our Savior, and you have to have faith to take the first step in any spiritual direction. And people always want to know, what are the signs, how do you know, and blah blah blah. Even in Jesus' day, people are like, well, how do we know this is true? So here he's saying, deviation from the abode of vanity. And if you remember, Solomon's like, vanity, vanity, all is vanity. And that's what the world's about. The world's all about, me, mine, and my. When you become a spiritual person, you're kind of supposed to pull back from that and realize it ain't all about you. That there's a bigger world out there, and you should be helping your fellow man, so that we all can attain a higher, plane of existence when the time comes and this world is no longer around. And you progress towards the eternal. So you go from being all about me, my, mine, to, Lord, what do you want me to do? And you walk in your Be Like Jesus shoes, and do what Jesus would do. So, Abu Sa'id was onto something there, and Rabi'a the Mystic. And there's, books about Rabi'a, if you wanted to, check those out and have a look. But anyway, think about it. Please like and share this wisdom so we can spread it around the world. If you want to help me out, subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you want to help me out even more, go to my Patreon page and become a patron. Thanks for watching. That's all for now. Until next time.